So good morning, everybody, and thanks for coming. It's always a pleasure and an honor to come to Rothenburg and teach, and especially for the area which is close to my heart, cardiovascular disorders, which is my main practice. Say 80 to 90% of my patients are cardiovascular patients in Israel. So again, I want to thank Julia and the Rothenburg committee for inviting me. It's a pleasure, and thank you for coming. So what we'll try to talk about this morning is on various aspects of cardiovascular prevention, and specifically we'll talk about arrhythmias, and we'll also talk about the Chinese and Western perspective of the nervous system and the cardiovascular system, and how these two entities intertwine beautifully together. So concepts of Chinese medicine stand, in my opinion, history and modern sciences confirming even the greatest and the most basic ideas of Chinese medicine. So it's very apparent in cardiovascular medicine. So I'm from Israel. My practice is in Israel. I work in a town out of Tel Aviv. I also work in Tel Aviv. I've been practicing Chinese medicine since 1999. Studied in the American College of TCM in San Francisco back in the days. And I was also very privileged to study with Professor Wang Jui, channel theory master, who unfortunately passed away last year. And I spent close to 8 months in China, again, back in 2000, in the Shiwen Hospital, which was like the National Integrative Cardiology Center in Beijing. And ever since, my practice has been focused on cardiovascular medicine and also pain management. I do a lot of pain management. This is because a very wise Chinese man told me when I was in school, it will take you some years before you get your cardiovascular patients coming in. Why don't you also major in pain management? It's going to be easier. And this was very true. So for the first 5-10 years, I did do a lot of pain management. I still do, but less these days. But it's also another major focus of my practice, and it's also based on channel theory, which we'll be talking about today. So before we start, I understand that yesterday there were some issues with the handout. The handout for this class wasn't uploaded. So just in case, if you don't have the handout, I think they fixed it. They should have it here on the website of the conference, but if not, you can always download it from, this is my website. It's called Way of Acupuncture. And in the download section, there's on the right-hand corner, there are two presentations, the one for this morning, the one for the afternoon, and also another brochure. So you can look at it over there. Are you seeing this? Yeah, you're seeing this, okay. So I want to start with the basics, okay? Even though we've all learned this hundreds of times, but I still want to go back to the basics because I think that's a key. Whenever you're in trouble and you don't understand your diagnosis, you need to go back to the basics. So Chinese medicine stands on 3 pillars, okay? And these 3 pillars or standposts are the yin-yang and 5-element theory from the one side, and the Zhang Fu theory on the other side. So we have the yin-yang and the 5-element theories, which describe, and the stems and branches theories, which actually describe general phenomena in the universe, the play of the Tao, the unfolding of phenomena in the universe by certain rules that the ancient Chinese, by observation, came about. So the description of the outer worlds and the workings of the outer world and also the inner worlds play by these very simple but also accurate rules